Hey there, it's Sandra from Sandra Bianco Photography. Today I'm going to be editing one of Tiffany Wilson Pet Photography's images using the Fur and Feathers collection. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to go into our color foundations, and you can choose to play them all or you can play them one by one. So I'm just going to play a few to show you what they do. So we'll start with Puppy Love. And that looks really pretty. I like how it brightens it up and it's really popping those yellows in the background and enhancing the dog, giving the dog a little bit more of a warmth. I'll also play Swan Song. And that looks pretty too. I like what that does to the greens. And then let's also play Social Butterfly. And that one's also pretty. I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with Puppy Love on this. And I'm just going to go ahead and reduce the opacity down just a bit. And then I'm going to go into Pop the Subject Clean. And that's going to bring in some nice depth to the image. And we're going to mask this off of our subject. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is go into the tone enhancers, and he's really looking pretty good to me as is, just with those few adjustments that we've already done. But we're going to go into Lion's Share. That's just a clean boost. It's a little bit much. We'll go into Cat's Meow, and I also like what that does to the overall image, giving it just a little bit more warmth. So I'm just going to bring that down. About 20%, just a little bit, goes a long way. And also let's play Spring Chicken. And I really like what that does to the background as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take that down. And for this one, I'm going to invert it. And I'm just going to paint this onto the background. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is go into our Retouch Brushes. And I'm going to select all over eye pop. Oh my gosh, I'm giving you guys a real life experience. I don't know if you can hear, but my cat just jumped up and started purring. Sorry about that. That's something I can't stop. Okay, so I just went ahead and popped the eyes a little bit, bring out those catch lights a bit more. And the next thing I'm going to do is run the soft fill flash. I'm going to go ahead and take this down, and I want to add a bit of fill flash in here just to brighten that up and make it a little bit more even, and down in here. I may even just put a little bit in here. I'll mask that off the fur where I just placed that on there. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Silky Contrast. And I'm going to take my opacity down to about 40%. I'm going to paint this on the pup. Bring that up a bit. And that's just going to give the coat a little bit of a softer feel. And then I'm going to mask this off of the eyes and the nose and anything where I want to keep sharp. And then we'll go into Creamy Contrast. And this I'm going to go ahead and start down here. Again, I'm just painting this on the dog. And I'm going to go ahead and take my opacity down. Okay, the next thing we're going to go into is our color cast. So I see a tiny bit of a little bit of red, maybe a little bit of even blue on the whites. So I'm going to go into Buzz the Blues. And then let's go into Move the Magentas. I'm going to go into Roar the Reds. It's very, very faint, but I see like there's just a teeny bit of a color cast on there. Okay, so once I'm through with that, we're going to go down into our background enhancers. And I'm just going to go ahead and flatten this real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and start with blur the background soft. And I just want to smooth this out a little bit in here. We're going to be adding some light and color as well, so you get a better feel of what I'm going to do here. I'll just add a little bit down in here, sometimes up into the corners, and then I'll go ahead and take that down just a little bit. And then we're going to go into blend the background, and I'm just going to try to add a little bit more of the green over onto the side. So I'm going to go ahead and play that, and once you play it, you'll get a pop-up box. You can select 3 different tones. So I'm just going to go ahead and select a couple of these green tones over here. And maybe one of these golden tones in here, just to maybe blend it out a bit. And then I'm going to just get my brush a bit smaller, and I'm going to start with my darker green and just start adding a little bit into here, changing my brush as I go. I'm going to mask that off of that white line there, and then selecting another green, and then maybe this golden color here, kind of toppling those just to blend them out a bit. And I'm going to bring that up just a little bit. Then I'm just going to go ahead and click on that blend the background and take that all down. So you can see there, just sort of blended it out a bit. And I can also just click in my layer mask here and take that off where I maybe went over or got a little bit too close to the dog. So that's just a general idea of what I would do on this image. I probably would do it just a little bit stronger, but it would take me, it's very tedious when you're trying to do something like this. So it would just take me a lot longer than we have really for this video. So you get the general idea there. And then we're going to go into beautify the background. And again, you can select up to 3 different colors. So let's go ahead and select the green. I definitely want to select this golden here. And then maybe this lighter light, so just kind of keeping it in play on the top there. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my green, and on these I like to get my brush big. And just, you can add a little bit of hint of light there, a little bit into the middle, and then a little bit onto the edge. So it just gives it more of that natural light that's coming in already. We're just enhancing it just a little bit. Okay, and then let's go down. And I'm going to go ahead and choose Final Color Pop. And I'm going to take that down. Just adding a little bit of that there. Define the details mild. Just placing that on my dog. So you can see there, if I click on and off. Let me just delete that real quick and show you Mighty, because you'll be able to see it a little bit more. So if you wanted more detail to come out, so see there, you can really bring out all that detail. Now you have to be careful, especially with dogs, because you don't want them to look the more detail. If you sharpen it up too much, they're actually going to look a little bit, I don't know, not as soft and innocent maybe. Maybe a little bit meaner. So you just, I like to not sharpen up too much on the dogs, just for that reason. So you get the idea. I just took that way down, so we're good. Okay, and then let's go into shallow depth of field bottom, and we'll add just a little bit more depth of field there. And then I'll go ahead and take that down a bit, and that's just going to give you a nice natural depth of field. And you can also do this for the top, so you can see there, and it's just making the image a little bit more dreamy. So I'm liking that. I'm just going to make sure none of this came onto the dog. Keep him nice and sharp. Okay, and then we're going to go into the Ethereal Bright and Clean. I'll try both of those. Okay, so that's the Bright. Let's try Clean. That one looks really pretty. So see how that just kind of like brought everything together, softened things up just a bit, and just gave it a little bit more of that dreamy feel that I personally like. Okay, and then we'll go into the Ethereal Vignette, and not the Ethereal Vignette, sorry, Custom Color Vignette. Well, I showed you what that did. That's for like really bright white images, and if you go back and watch some of the videos, I use that on the kitty video, so you can see more of what that one does. The Custom Color Vignette, and I'm just gonna go ahead and you can either select like a color from here from the background, or I can just select, you know, a super dark color, can select a color from the dog. You can see what all of these are kind of doing, and it's not gonna, once I hit OK, it's not gonna fall on the entire image the way that it is. It's just looking like that right now because I'm kind of playing with it, and it's gonna show up as a mask in a second. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use one of these darker colors here, just to give it a little bit more contrast and richness. So you can see there what that did. And then I'm just going to go ahead and mask this off my pub. Okay, and then we're going to go into Pop Goes the Weasel, small. And you can see what that did. Gives it a teeny bit more definition. And this is a good way too, if you don't want to dodge and burn, it kind of gives you that effect. So I'm just going to go ahead and invert this and just paint this on the dog. Okay, and I think we are done. So let me go ahead and show you the before and after. So this is the before, close that out. So that's the before, and that's the after. Before, after. I hope you all enjoyed this. Please visit greaterthangatsby.com for more videos. Thanks, guys. Bye.